Hey everybody out there, welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. We're in the last week of February. The books in this review are from February 27, 2013. And we are 26 episodes away from 200. 26 more weeks to go.
Next week will be 25.
I know, isn't that crazy?
That is.
Crazy world. And Robin's officially dead. And I don't have the book. Sorry guys, didn't get Batman Incorporated #8.
I can still.
Wish I could have. Wish I did now, but unfortunately didn't get it. Maybe in second printing I'll get it to read.
There's been lots of news about that.
Yeah, that's why I'm mentioning it here. I did not get Batman Inc. #8, and that's the talk of this week. This week, honestly, for me, looking at all the books, there's really nothing that stood out for me. Nothing that's really overly spectacular or something like, oh my god. And Mike had 4 this week. Really just everything was just there, so I apologize if I'm not really as enthusiastic, but there's really nothing that super crazy excited me this week.
It was like one of those weeks.
Maybe there was. Maybe as I'm going through, like, Hawkeye was good, and, well, I don't want to give away what I'm reading, so well, you guys know anyway. So, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Foot Clan #3. One more part to go, by the way. I found out it's a 4-part mini-series. After next month, I believe we go into the micro series for the villains.
Oh.
So, I really like this book. The Turtles went to save the Professor, and they actually do save the Professor. Most of the book is a huge fight. The artwork's really good. The fighting's really good. Classic dialogue. Just all out awesome. Cavalry is really going after, what do you call it? Leonardo, because we all know that Shredder wants Leonardo as his first in command. And Kaori doesn't like that. There is flashbacks to when Shredder, or at that moment, Orokusaki realizes like his father sent people to kill him. At first, in the beginning of the book, that's actually how it starts. It starts with the father sending people to kill his son, and in the end, it ends with Orokusaki. I don't want to say killing his father, but it ends with Orokusaki confronting his father, and basically it leads you to believe, or it'll continue in the next issue where he kills his father. And in the book, they find out that the dragon... Oh, God, why did I put the book back? This is Shredder that they're talking about, but the book says the Dragon Warrior can't be killed. No death can hold him. He can always be resurrected, etc. And I love how Leo's like, great, so that basically means the Shredder is unkillable. So I like this book. It's a nice mini-series. Really enjoying it a lot. Guessing this takes place after the whole Dimension X story, or maybe before the Dimension X story. I don't know exactly where it fits in yet, but definitely something you guys should check out, especially if you're Turtle fans. Another book, but this isn't in continuity, but it's really good. We're in the big 2 now. Injustice: Gods Among Us #2. I've been talking about this throughout several live shows. We all know what Superman does to Joker. And basically he's had it. After the Joker killed Lois, destroyed Metropolis, basically Superman lost everything, and he says, that's it, I'm done. And he basically goes to the UN and says, there's a permanent ceasefire, and if you don't ceasefire, I'll be there to stop it. There's also a part with Green Arrow and Harley Quinn, or Queen, however you... I think it's Quinn.
Harley Quinn. And
he basically brings her to the Arrow Cave. And I don't know if he's protecting her or whatever, but everybody's afraid Superman's going to kill again. I knew Superman wasn't going to kill again, but basically he's just had it. He's had it with the way the world is, and he wants to change everything. And he's going to do it even if it means by force. And here's him at the UN. When he killed Joker, Batman actually was in shock.
Yeah, I saw it. It's before when he did it. Yeah.
So this was a really good book. For those of you that are getting Injustice, and even if you're not getting Injustice, it's a good backup story. I'm actually excited to see what happens in the actual video game, if the video game actually has a storyline.
Well, they have good, promising characters so far.
So far, and there's still more to come. They just announced Sinestro and Hawkgirl a couple of days ago.
Yep.
Maybe a week ago now, but they're still adding characters. So, really good. Definitely something you guys should check out if you're getting the book or not. Next is Mike's book.
Yes, Justice League Dark, issue number 17. This book just keeps getting really amazing. This is where the Justice League Dark team goes through the experiment from where Officer Viker captured them, followed by the Apocalypse, where
this font is the exact font of the Amazing Spider-Man logo, the old one in the 90s.
Death of Magic, yeah.
That is the exact font. Just noticed it.
And this is where Dr. Peril is trying to find ways to close the portal and to get the message to Timothy and Satana, where Timothy's father decided to send the message. And the artwork in this book is really still great and amazing. And basically, just to sum it up, it's really the Justice League Dark team going through hell with the experiment, and Madame Xanadu growing older, with Frankenstein just snapping out of it because things are not like impossible for what he said. And there's just like this big war that's going on, and yeah, when I saw the ending part of what's gonna happen next, it's going to be something else to look forward to. And there's also a preview for Constantine issue number 1.
Yeah, it's in all the books this week.
Yeah, I'm not going to be getting it, for those who are questioning if I'm going to be getting it or not. And there was a preview.
I was going to ask you if you're going to get it, because you like reading about Constantine and Justice League Dark.
And, of course, they also did for Robin being dead, as well as a preview. But beside the point, I'm really liking Justice League Dark. And, can't wait to see what happens next for the team and everything else in the next issue.
Finally, from DC is Red Lanterns issue 17. The weaker, I agree with you, Mark, the weaker of the 4 issues connecting to the Wrath of the First Lantern. It says part 4, but to be very honest with you guys, this has little to no connection to the Wrath of the First Lantern up until the last few pages. We find out that Rancor can mask himself. Using his constructs, he can mask that he's a Red Lantern and make himself look like a normal human being. As you can see here, he makes himself look like a normal human being. We find out that the spirit of, oh God, what was his name? Krona, he's basically saying, have pity on me, you know, we're the same, you know. And he's very like, I was once this, I lost that, and the other thing, sad, whatever. Really, like I said, none of this had anything to do with the Wrath of the First Lantern up until the last, I want to see where he made his official first appearance. Up until the very last page, and then if you go back to the middle of the book, he confronts Krona first, and then he destroys Krona. This is the first part where the First Lantern shows up. And then I'm going to spoil the ending because we all saw this coming. But basically the last part that made this have any connection to the Wrath of the First Lantern is where the First Lantern confronts Atrocitus. The end.
Looks a little bit like Taboo from Brawl.
That's what I was thinking. And he makes the proclamation, I'm going to change your world. Little to nothing to do with anything First Lantern at all. But the next issue obviously will, because the First Lantern's right in front of Atrocitus where this book ends. So, as I said, definitely the weaker of the 4 books this month when it comes to the Wrath of the First Lantern. What happened? No one off?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So, it was a nice read. I leave it up to you guys, though. I don't know why they would consider this a part 4. I wouldn't really consider it a part 4, but if you're getting all the books like I am for the Wrath of the First Lantern, it does count as the 4th part, apparently. And that's it for DC. Now we're going into Marvel. Uncanny X-Force issue number 2. The Uncanny X-Force are trying to take the girl who has the spirit of an angel, I'm guessing, but she's a new mutant. They're trying to get her and bring her back to the Jean Grey School of Higher Learning, basically to bring her to Wolverine. And Spiral tries to prevent that. She tries to get her way. Betty really has there's a lot of cursing and blanked out words in this book. Puck takes a nice shot at Spiral, and that was pretty sweet. He's like, I've hit the devil. I have no problem hitting you. Did he say the devil himself, or I punched the devil himself? I usually don't punish. I don't punch women, but I punched the devil himself. So yeah, I'll do it once. And artwork in the book is really good, though. I will say that. Here's one of Puck and Storm. And it ends with, and Bishop is back, and he's roaring and growling. No dialogue whatsoever. We get 2 pages of Phantom X and Cluster, and this is where Cluster asks Phantom X, "Do you even miss Betty?" And he's like, "No." And she actually is the one that says, "Gee, well, I do, and if I do, that means Dark Phantom X does too. We need to find her and protect her for her own good." And she's still off trying to get the girl, I keep forgetting her name. I forgot the girl's name.
It was like, do you have an index?
No, they don't have an index. Maybe they would. Maybe they will in the... No.
I don't know.
They say young mutant girl. Nah. It's really not very... Well, it's important, but... at the same time, it turns out that Bishop shows up, and it's not Bishop anymore. I'm not going to show the last page, but let's just say Bishop is kind of like the Phoenix, except it's not the Phoenix, it's a bear.
Oh my.
The only reason I'm thinking about coming back for the next issue is just to see what's up after that last page. That last page has me going, I'd like to see exactly what's next. You know, what happens next. But basically this book was all X-Force trying to get the girl. Bishop is trying to get to the girl too. It's kind of like that Terminator kind of feeling. He wants to kill the girl, and they want to save the girl and take her to Wolverine's school, and Spiral wants to protect her from everybody, basically. So, I don't know. I was going to drop this book until I got to the very last page, and then I said maybe not. I might hold on to it just to see where the whole Phoenix Bear... It's not the Phoenix Force, but it's a Fire Bear thing from the future fits into all this. So I might hold on to this book, especially because I dropped like 2 books last week, I believe. So since I dropped all those books, I think I'm going to hold on. And I did drop Uncanny Avengers, which came out this week. So I think I'll hold on to Uncanny X-Force one more issue and see where it's going to go before I make my decision. So one more book won't hurt.
Thunderbolts, issue number 5. I am done with Thunderbolts.
Yeah, everybody.
And I'm going to tell you why. And yes, it might be a shock to all of you because I did say I was going to give this the last chance, and this last chance just broke it. I mean, like, the artwork's good. There are some blood.
The Punisher's whiny.
And the Punisher's whiny and has this flirtiness with Elektra and all that stuff.
That page don't even show.
I'm not going to show it. No, I'm not going to show it.
Did you know the rating for this book is parental advisory? Not even mature. Hold your finger there. The rating for the book is parental advisory.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice.
Not even mature readers. Parental advisory.
So here's some more.
So basically, any book that says parental advisory, like this one, or for example, this is T+. Anything basically with something like this that says parental advisory, it means basically they can do whatever the hell they want in this book except curse.
Yeah.
You got a bullet that went in one guy's face over here, and they show it coming out the other side in this book.
Yeah. And also, just want to point out, DeadPool, he's not as funny. He's try-harding in this book. And we get introduced to character Mercy.
Now there's the page, too.
Yeah, with the whole thing, yeah. And she's asking Samuel for his help and everything. And there's, like, really a creepy page where people are the brain, so to say. With a long dialogue of DeadPool
I'm the
talking.
sleep after reading this.
And I don't know if I show this because of...
No.
Well, if you saw the preview, Punisher and Elektra have their kiss scene. And Venom is bringing Madman to the leader. And it's concluded in the next issue. And I know, everybody, that this is the only book that has the Punisher
For
in
now.
it. For now, that's why I'm wearing the shirt, to say There's another Punisher book that came out this week that I'm gonna read, but guys, don't even bother. I am just personally dropping it, so yeah. Not come back for Thunderbolts.
So bye-bye Thunderbolts. I think everybody dropped, mostly. There were a few people that commented that they didn't drop it, but...
I mean, 1 through 3 was so good, but 4 I was like, I'm gonna give it another chance. 5 just did it, so...
Just squashed it, huh?
Just dropped it. It was dragging on, and the story didn't even make sense either, so... Goodbye, Thunderbolts.
Uncanny X-Men #2. I liked the book. I really did like it this week. Most of it, though, is Emma Frost and Cyclops having their dialogue between each other. And you can see that in the future, they're going to probably end up getting back together. There's a whole thing where she's like, I miss being in your head, I miss this, I miss that, I want to blame you, but I know it's not your fault. I want to blame Tony Stark, but it's not his fault. I want to blame Jean Grey, and I hate her. And I love how Magic shows up at the end. This is all in her head. Then Cyclops shows up, and they talk for a bit about... he asks her if she's going to stay, and she's like, I'm not going to leave. And he's like, well, you're an outstanding teacher, that's why you're here in the first place. And then Magic shows up, and she's like, are you guys back together? And they're like, no. And she's like, thank the Dark Lords, and she disappears.
Wow.
So you could see that there's, like, Emma wants to get back together with Scott, but Scott's kind of happy he's not with Emma. I don't know why, but... Then it's the rest of the issue is basically orientation for the new mutants, and you get a map of the new Xavier School of Higher Learning, because that's what they're calling it. It looks more like an underground school.
Or like a schematic.
Like a bunker.
Well, it looks like schematics with where's what.
And you learn more about the new students. Some of them want to go home and tell their parents they're okay, but this one character, Christopher, ironic, doesn't give a crap. He just wants to stay there. He thinks everything's cool, and are we going to live here? Screw my parents. I don't need to ever talk to them ever again. I don't care. There's nothing for me back in the real world anyway. And but one character, I hope they give her name at the beginning, which they probably won't. Nope, there's no roster yet. Wants to go see her mom. And they actually go to Australia to take her to see her mom. And then it turns out Magneto, who we all know by now is the traitor, phones in, I guess, to Maria Hill saying where they're going. And remember, none of their powers work. And let's just say the next issue, Avengers Assemble.
Oh, man.
And they're not ready for this. And there's a lot of other stuff that happened in this book, but...
Didn't the whole thing between them end?
I want to not fold this again because I see it's folded. What?
Didn't the whole thing between the Avengers and the X-Men...
No. Cyclops is still a fugitive, remember?
Oh, so basically it's after... They're going after Cyclops. Just not the whole...
Well, Emma Frost is a fugitive, too. And so is Magic. Anybody who is part of the Phoenix Five is a fugitive.
Oh, that's a good point.
So, this was good. I'm coming back for the next issue. I'm really enjoying Uncanny X-Men. Even Chris Boccello's artwork, it's really good in this book. It fits. I feel like the artwork fits this book. It didn't fit with Wolverine and the X-Men, but it really goes well with Uncanny X-Men. So, for me, it fits. I liked it. I would definitely say to check out Uncanny X-Men.
Okay, and still with the X-Tiles, X-Men Legacy, issue number 6.
I did one more.
Yeah, and this issue was really good. I was satisfied with reading this issue of X-Men Legacy this week. Basically, it's talking about...
Is that the Blob?
Ooh. Yeah, that's the Blob. That goes on in Legion's mind, like he destroys...
Oh, he's in his mind.
Yeah, this part shows where he's in the mind, and reality shows that. But basically, it's Legion that needs to stop Tibet from the whole thing of what happened last issue, which is seen right here. Artwork's great. And I forgot what the boy's name was. Basically, he's just trying to defeat Legion. That's Tibet in him. And he just one-ups him in almost every single thing that's thrown at him. And he... He gets a little bit very mad about that. And there's just this whole thing where he's just, that goes to him and the mind of what's going on there. And the boy calls to the X-Men saying that he tried to kill, he hurt my sister, and this whole thing that happened. Ruth came in to sell this whole thing, a spoiler over there. And in the end, Wolverine offers Legion if he wants to stay or not, and I'm not going to tell how that went. And this ending page, that's to be continued, somebody makes a return, and or maybe return, and I think you guys should see for yourselves who that is.
X-Men Legacy's going very well for you.
Yes, X-Men Legacy is.
I didn't think you'd be into the whole Legion thing. I thought maybe you'd be on.
Well, the thing about Legion is that the more I learn about his character and how he is with the whole telepathic powers and the way the storyline's still going great, the more interesting it is. And after seeing that last page, I want to see if he's actually seen
after that,
you know, yeah.
I'll say one thing. If you look at the word bubbles, one of them has the name of the person that's in the last page.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of, there's only one.
Yeah, but you'd have to actually pause the video, go back now, and look at it.
Or they could just look at the cover themselves. I mean, you know, it's on midtown.com.
That too.
Or they could watch my in-depth review on Dark Avenger Inc.
And take a breather, and then you go into your last book. But for now, Deadpool Killistrated issue 2. Deadpool's still going around killing everybody in literacy. But we find out in this book that because Deadpool's out of his, what's the word I'm looking for? Out of his norm, they stand a chance because he's now in the...
I want to look at this for a second.
Go ahead. Why do you want to look at it?
The boy's name?
Oh.
It's bothering me.
He's in the, what was it called? He's not as strong, and it's not the same for him, so he's weaker. And I love how still, as he's going through the universe, he's seeing how certain characters relate to characters from the Marvel universe that he's killed. But he's having a hard time taking them out. And by the end of this issue, I wanted to say the middle, but no, by the end of the issue, you could see that Deadpool has taken a pretty heavy beating by the end of the issue. And that's right, and they were right. So the only person that's going to stand against Deadpool is Sherlock Holmes, of course, his assistant, Dr. Watson, and 3 other people. Hal Mulan, Nady Bumpo, I don't know, and Beowulf. Last page of the issue.
Oh, his name is Luca, the boy.
There you go. You heard what I said, Mike? Beowulf and Mulan.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, you get to hear what the message the guy, one of the supervillains from the lab sent. And he's like, your world's in grave peril. The whole thing is in the first page. This basically made Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe now, in my opinion, worth reading because this is the follow-up to it. Now Deadpool's going through all the literary books, but because it's not his element, he's having a hard time. And he's getting his butt, well, I mean, he's winning and he's killing everything, but it's taking a toll on him as well. So, by the time he gets to Sherlock Holmes, I feel bad for Deadpool. He's going to be really winded, so to speak. But Tom Sawyer is in this for all of about 1 page. But he goes through a lot. He even goes through the Headless Horseman in this book.
Oh, really? Wow.
It's good. I'm enjoying it so far, but once again, I read Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. Issue 1 was issue 2 and 3 was good, and then when we got to the last issue, we were all pissed off.
Oh, I'll never forget.
So this is issue 2, and I enjoyed issue 2. I can't wait for issue 3, but we'll see what happens with the final issue. That's how I feel, at least.
Watch it be all a dream.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
Do your book.
All right, it's the end, my friends, to Punisher Warzone issue 5 of 5. And I can't believe it's the end of the Punisher book. But some tells me there's going to be another Punisher book, and...
Not right away.
Not right away, but just in the making. So basically, it's the Avengers, including Iron Man, who are going against, to find the Punisher, where him and Rachel team up, and Logan actually makes a brief appearance of talking with the Punisher, saying, you know, the Avengers will be here any minute now to capture you. He tries to get Iron Man, the Punisher, and he's a machine, so nothing could stop Iron Man. And it's just a whole big fight scene of what happens, and there's one person who tells him that, you know,
Captain America, you could say that.
Well, spoiler, Captain America saying, you know, it's over, just stand down, that's an order. And there's an ending page where the Punisher is in this sort of prison-like thing where he can't make weapons out of stuff that's around him, which is good, and there's no way he can make an escape. So when they put that, you know, to make it into a weapon to make an escape, that tells me, you know, something else. And the ending page really caught my eye of Rachel.
Yeah, the new Punisher might flip.
Yeah, but who knows? I'm hoping that Marvel does make another Punisher book. It's really sad to see.
It won't be by Greg Rucka. That I can say. I think Greg Rucka's done.
But as time goes forward, in time, Punisher reference movie, we shall see if there'll be another Punisher book. So
we'll see.
Yeah, but
I don't see Punisher staying in jail.
Yeah, but I recommend you guys pick up all issues 1 through 5. I give the whole series a 5 out of 5, and you can get in trade paperback. And, yeah. So that's all for this week, based on the shirt. Yeah.
All right, we only have a minute left, so we're gonna switch out.
Oh, okay.
So we'll be gone for a brief second. For you guys, it'll be just a click. For well, not even a click. We're just gonna hit the camera on and off, and then we're just gonna continue on. So for you guys, it's the same video. For us, we'll be back, or I'll be back in 1 second. So hang on a sec, guys, as we switch. And we're continuing along this week with only 3 books left. Young Avengers issue number 2. I like this book. We find out that Wiccan brought back something else, that in the last issue Loki was going to try to stop Wiccan from bringing back Hulkling's mom, because it wasn't Hulkling's mom, it was a parasite, or I forgot what it was, but basically she's able to manipulate people. She can become some type of a liquid form thing, and she's taking over. She took over Wiccan's parents' mind, and she took over the Avengers. We saw that in the preview.
Did I show artwork on Punisher Warzone?
Yes, you did.
I did?
I believe you did. If you want to show more artwork, you can. Yeah. And she ends up trapping Wiccan and Hulkling in these little boxes. It makes me think of the Phantom Zone without the whole Phantom Zone part. Just trapped in like this box.
No, I didn't.
So let's see. Where did Loki say what it was?
Hold on a second. Here's the artwork.
And, oh, here we go. I got it.
Great artwork.
He released an interdimensional parasite instead of Hulkling's real mom. So now it's up to them and Loki to get rid of her and send her back where she came from. And the place they go towards the end of the book is Asgard, but we all know Loki's not too welcome in Asgard anymore, and that's where the book kind of leaves off. There is mention of Hawkeye, and when I say Hawkeye, I mean Kate Bishop Hawkeye, not Hawkeye Clint Barton, which is going to be in the next book. But Young Avengers is really a good read. I really liked it, and I would definitely recommend you guys check it out and get issue 1 as well, of course, because if you don't get issue 1, you're going to be completely lost to what they're doing here. But the team is not fully formed yet. But I'm really like reading about Wiccan and Hulkling. I really don't. It didn't bother me that it's basically those two plus Loki, Kid Loki. So, I mean, I look forward to seeing everybody else coming onto the team. But it's really good, and I would highly recommend you guys check out Young Avengers. It's a really good book. Really liked it. Now, speaking of Hawkeye, we have Hawkeye issue 8 this week, and I never thought I'd see this, but in this book, Clint actually makes mention that he got fired from the Avengers.
Wow.
Turns out the girl that he saved for a couple of issues back from the Bros, yeah, she's back and she wants a safe. It turns out her ex-husband, whom she killed, had a safe, and there's something in there. She won't tell Clint what's in it, but she needs it or else she's dead. So they come up with this scheme where he'll make a distraction. She'll go steal the book, the safe, and then every once in a while you get a comic book cover. And she tells Clint she has these comic books that her ex-husband drew about her or wrote about her. And she tells him, don't touch them, just leave them in the pile. So they go to the club. She makes it in there. And, of course, you get the comic covers. She gets the safe, but Clint gets arrested for causing all the ruckus and whatnot. And that's where he makes mention that he got kicked out of the Avengers. However, Clint read the comics and took them out of order. And because he took them out of order, the safe has you have only 3 chances. After the 3rd chance, if you don't get the combination right, it destroys the contents inside. And it turns out, spoiler alert, this will be the spoiler comic of the week. It turns out that the comic books were in a specific order, the order of the combination. And because he moved the order, the safe is of no use to her, and she just disappears and leaves. So Clint's in bad shape, and then we get the last pages. Clint is not only in bad shape because of what happened getting kicked out of the Avengers temporarily. We all know Hawkeye's not going to stay out of the Avengers. But it turns out there's a meeting with the Kingpin involved and several other people, and they want to, and the Bro people want to kill Hawkeye.
Is that Hammerhead?
Yeah, Hammerhead's in it.
Oh, wow.
And Kingpin basically says, okay, give us a dead Avenger. So the Bros are going after Hawkeye, and Hawkeye's friends and family are in deep peril, so to speak. So it's going to be interesting to see where this book goes, because now it's not like one issue a story. Now Clint's really, he's on the hit list. So it's going to be interesting to see where this book goes now. But I'm really, really liking Hawkeye, and he's got a Kingpin-sized trouble now. He's got a Kingpin set of issues that he's going to be dealing with as of the next issue on. But I'm really liking it. Matt Braxton doing an awesome job. Finally this week, Guardians of the Galaxy issue 0.1. And I understand now why it's a 0.1. It's all about the origin of Star-Lord. And it ends where the first issue should begin.
Well, every 0 issue, or 0.1 is where it begins.
So it starts off with Star-Lord's father crashing down on Earth, and this is where the whole mom meets the father. They fall in love. They do the nookie, and then the father, being the prince of, or the king of, oh god, how do you pronounce the name of this planet? Spartax. He had to leave to go back to the war on the planet, and he wouldn't take her with him because it's a war-ridden planet, and didn't want to put her in harm's way, be selfish and whatnot. That was 30 years ago. And now they jump 10 years closer to the present, 20 years ago, and that's where Star-Lord, as a kid, Peter Quill, his name is reading a comic book. And by the way, 30 years ago, she took away his gun that only works for him. This is of importance towards the middle of the book. Peter's growing up, and he hates his father. He says, I told you to stop saying anything about me being like my father. I told you he's not even around. Where is he? He's not even here. He's a bum. He hates his father because his father just left. He gets in trouble at school, comes home. The mother doesn't care because she knows that he was just defending somebody, and that's where the Marvel .1 comes in. From this part, I believe it was from this page. From this page all the way through until the house blows up, we have, that was the Marvel .1 issue. Going back into this book now, it turns out he's hospitalized because of the explosion. He was out cold, but the gun was saved. The reason I'm not getting into what just happened is because we talked about this in the Marvel .1. We then jump into the present, and we find out he was just telling the whole story. To who? To the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
And his proclamation is,
that looks like Iron Man.
Where was it?
That costume.
Hmm? That is Iron Man.
Oh.
So he's telling the story to Iron Man. He's like, he says, the rest of my life I lived in foster homes until I could join NASA. Then I came out here, and I got here, and now I want to make sure that he's going to make damn sure that they never touch Earth ever again. And he says, was that all you wanted to know, Mr. Stark? He's like, that's exactly what I wanted to know.
This looks interesting.
So basically he joins the Guardians of the Galaxy. And basically they say, cheers. He says, so are you in? Iron Man says, I'm in all the way. What now? He's like, now we show them how it's done. To be continued in issue 1 of the Guardians of the Galaxy. This was my book of the week.
It looks interesting too.
And a close follow-up to that was Hawkeye, and a close follow-up. Actually, second place definitely goes to The Secret of the Foot Clan. Third place goes to Hawkeye, but this book is the book of the week for me. I don't care if anybody complains about .1s or whatever. I don't know who Star-Lord is, so this gave me the background I needed on the main character of this book. And you also find out that Iron Man joins the team. So you know what? Anybody who's going to complain that it's a .1 or that it's just a setup, yeah. But you know what? For people like me who want to get into the cosmic universe and have no idea about the characters in here, this was good for me. So this was the perfect setup, and it has me now pumped for issue 1 of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I know I'm going to love it, and I'm going to stay with the book. I hope I didn't just jinx it, but I love Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1, book of the week for me. And with that, that's all we got for you guys this week. So
I'm going to skedaddle behind the camera.
Yep.
So, later guys.
So guys, really quick, before we close out, let's give the advertisements. Once again, links, for those of you that watch the Avenger log, you know that I'll be putting all the links to everything important in the description below. However, I do like saying certain things at the end of my video. Don't forget to check out comicrelated.com as well as bkbn.net for all your comic-related news, reviews, and more. Don't forget to check all the links in the description below. They go to my blogger, to the Facebook page for Dark Avenger Inc., and many other different places. And that's that. So check out the links down below this video in the description for anything else other than what I just talked about. Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1 book of the week. I liked it. Definitely recommend you guys check it out. As well as Hawkeye issue number 8 and Young Avengers issue number 2. Punisher Warzone issue 5 of 5.
Great issue. Hopefully they'll make another Punisher book.
DeadPool Killistrated issue number 2. I leave it up to you guys because we all know what happens in DeadPool miniseries. X-Men Legacy number 6.
Also a great issue. Can't wait to see what happens in the next one.
Uncanny X-Men issue 2 is good. Definitely say to check it out. Thunderbolts issue 5. I think it's a fail.
Stay away. Dropped it. Goodbye Thunderbolts. Forever.
Uncanny X-Force. Uncanny X-Force issue 2. I leave up to you guys, but the last page has me wanting to come back at least one more issue. Red Lanterns issue 17 was the weaker of all the books that connected with the Wrath of the First Lantern. However, in whole though, the book was pretty okay. I leave it up to you guys. Justice League Dark 17.
Excellent issue. I'm really liking it, and I can't wait to see what happens for the Justice League Dark team in the next one.
Injustice number 2 is really good, especially if you're getting the game. I would definitely say check it out. If not, it's up to you. If you're not getting the game, it's up to you. And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret History of the Foot Clan, issue 3, the Pendulum issue. Really good. Definitely something to check out if you're a Turtle fan. Really loved the book this week. A little note, my little iPod just said something. I will mention it here because I created it today. But I won't make mention of it again, and I'll leave it in a link in the description below. I created a group on Facebook called Comic Discussion. If you guys are interested, definitely check it out. Give the page a thumbs up, or actually join the group. Basically, it's a group where we'll discuss, where we all, as a group or a community, can discuss anything from video games, comics, movies, TV, card games, like I said, video games, anything. And it's basically a place for all of us to share things we hear and communicate with one another. I figured I'd give it a shot. It's different from the Dark Avenger Inc. Facebook page where we only post our news there. Here we could all post to each other about news and comics and whatnot. So definitely go check it out. Like I said, the link will be in the description below, or you can go to facebook.com/groups/comic book discussion. I don't know if there's an S. I believe it's comic book discussion. There you go. With that, guys, that's it for this week. Take care, everybody. Keep reading, keep collecting. I'll see you guys really soon in another video. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.